So, today I'm actually going to talk about why it's important to detach and let your mind think, and how it's actually productive to take a period of your day to not do anything. And I feel like I feel like I have always been I've always had the desire to be productive, and I've always had the desire to always be doing something. And I thought that that was the way to live life, like to always be doing something. And the older I've gotten, I've realized that that term always be doing something has been like passed on to me by my dad, by my jobs, and I've actually I've started to question like why is it important to always be doing something? And the more I've questioned that, the more I'm realizing that if you're always doing something, even without a purpose, then you never get a chance to really process what you've done or reflect on what you've done. So you never have any time to appreciate the work you've done. You never have time to, like, if you're always doing something, always keeping yourself busy, you never have time to process conversations you've had with people. If you're always busy talking to people, you're always busy with sales, or you're always on the phone. If you're just always doing something and your mind never gets a chance to reflect or, like I said, appreciate or um, like analyze or plan, then that's where burnout comes in. Well, maybe this is just a thought. It's possibly why like some people get burnt out. It's because they're always doing something, which is good. I am a big fan of productivity, and I am a fan of working hard and maximizing your day in a 24-hour period. I am a big fan of doing something productive. I am a fan of working. I'm a fan of working hard. I'm a fan of not wasting time. But I'm here to make an argument that setting time aside to do nothing is actually productive, because if, like I said, if you never question why you're doing certain things, or you never reflect, or you never process what you've done, then you're kind of just living a life where you're not really in control, and the idea of doing something kind of controls you. The idea of always be busy, this is kind of running your life. But when you take a step back and you set time aside, even 20 or 30 minutes of just doing nothing and sitting in your room doing nothing can be productive, and it is productive because you are able to process what you're feeling, you're able to process what you're going through, and it helps you also plan on what you're going to do in the future. Is what I'm doing working? Is the life that I'm living working right now? Is this the best life that I can be living? And these are the types of questions you'll start to ask when you set time aside. So, yes, it is important to be productive. It is important to not waste time, but also it's equally as important, if not more important, to set time aside to do nothing, to relax, to let your mind think through certain things, to ask yourself why you're doing certain things. You need to you need to take that time to look back on your life and what you've been doing and why you're doing certain things. And once you get those understandings and you ask those types of questions, you'll have more clarity when you are doing when you are doing the tasks that you need to be doing moving forward. So, for example, today I've kind of just been I've set a decent amount of time aside to just think and let my mind process what I'm feeling, what I'm going through, and it's been helpful. Like, I've felt that I've been in a rut lately, and I think that the reason I've been in a rut is because I haven't let my mind stop. Like, I've just been always doing something, whether it's watching YouTube, whether it's eating, whether it's working, whether it's working on my business, whatever it is, I'm always doing something. Even reading is doing something. So when you take that time to do nothing and just be, that is when that is when you actually get to process stuff. That is when you get to experience what you're feeling. That is, or at least for me, this is a time for me to experience what I'm feeling, process what I'm going through, and also take a look back and reflect at what I've been doing and why am I in a rut? What things and attitudes and mindset has caused me to be in a rut? And so if you take this time to ask a lot of questions and sort of ask these questions, think the answers will come to you. And like I said, these answers will provide more clarity. And so now I have more clarity when I'm speaking. Now when I'm moving forward, because I took that time aside, I know a little bit more about what I want to do and how my life is going to look like in the near future and even the long future. So I encourage you to take the time aside, even 5 minutes a day of just sitting there doing nothing, not even looking at your phone, not even reading, not doing anything, just thinking. you'll be surprised at how much clarity you get and how much like relaxation you get afterwards. So another thing I do want to note is that if you've never really taken the time to do this, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to sit and do nothing because your mind has been trained to always be productive, always be doing something, and you feel this sense of guilt if you're not doing something. You feel like you're missing out on something. So I encourage you to let those thoughts play out because they are going to come. Those thoughts are going to happen when you challenge yourself to sit and do nothing. But there will be a point where you start to become comfortable with those thoughts and you realize that, oh, well, those are just thoughts. There's not actual reason behind them because now I'm finding that by sitting here, I'm becoming aware of these thoughts. So hopefully this makes sense. Like I said, just start taking time out of every day. Start with 5 minutes and sit and do nothing. And you'll be surprised at how much more productive you will be. You'll experience less burnout, you'll reduce stress, and you'll generally be have more clarity throughout the day. You'll have more awareness. If you start to question why you do certain things, you'll have more awareness in your habits. So, yeah, take time aside every day. Start out with 5 minutes and just gradually increase it. The more time that you can sit and think and be comfortable doing nothing, and when I say nothing, I mean even watching TV is doing something. Even being on your phone is doing something. I mean absolutely nothing. Stare out the window. Look at the trees blowing. Look at your wall. Try to pick up on some details. And it sounds crazy, but it forces you to be in the present moment. And the more comfortable you can be in that state, the more productive you will be in the future. So give it a try. Let me know what you think. Comment if it works for you, or if you've tried any meditation yourself, or if you currently do meditation. So yeah, I appreciate you watching, and have a good ass day.